Hi, my name is Terry Hurst. I'd like to thank you all for coming here today. It's good enough. It's better than it was. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Indeed, these are cliches that have been muttered throughout history. Fortunately, optimism as progress is persistently deaf to the naysayers. America is teeming with life. Slide, please. A growing population requiring more and more efficient transportation of the people and the goods they consume. I believe changes need to be made in how the interstate system is used, specifically the rural sections traversing this great country and the speed limits that have been imposed upon them. Today I will speak briefly on the interstate system, its origins, its evolution, and the benefits and concerns of making changes to this system. The Federal Highway Administration website states that the Dwight D. Eisenhower National System of Interstate and Defense Highways, or the Interstate System, was born on June 29, 1956, when Eisenhower, then President, signed the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956. The system was lobbied for by major U.S. auto manufacturers, but according to Henry Petrosky in his article On the Road in American Standard Scientist, the interstate system was not only supported by Eisenhower after his difficult experiences as an Army officer, slide please, as he was trying to get from one side of the country to the other, but also slide for his appreciation of the German Autobahn network. Eisenhower believed it would be an important component of a national defense system. The system has evolved with the addition of several segments now totaling over 46,000 miles, including spurs and loops into and around cities. Changes in its use have been instituted as society and trends dictate, including their use as hurricane evacuation routes. Such radical concepts as contraflow have even been used, where both lanes of traffic are sent in the same direction to exit a city. But just as society has moved from the pencil to the calculator and to the supercomputer, so too should we continue our journey by utilizing inventions and innovations to their utmost potential. When the Wright brothers invented flight and sent humans into the air, we didn't stay happy with just propeller-driven flight. We didn't shun jet aircraft because it was inherently more dangerous since it was so much faster. We never did say it's good enough. Neither should we accept the concurrent use of the rural sections of our interstate highway system as good enough. The longest interstate highway, slide, is Interstate 90, which runs 3,099 miles from Boston to Seattle. This would take about 15 hours traveling at 200 miles per hour. The same travel time, slide, would only get you 1,007 miles down the road, almost to Chicago. While this is simplified and not accounting for gas stops and rest breaks, it does illustrate the potential time savings. But what of the cost? Is it more dangerous? In 1987, the federal government lifted the federally imposed speed limits, leaving this to the discretion of each state. 40 states raised their maximum speed limit from 55 miles per hour to 65. Now, some feared at this time that this would cause an increase in the rate of fatalities. However, in California, according to Charles Labe and Patrick Elias from the University of California at Irvine, in their research paper, Did the 65 mile per hour speed limit save lives?, published in Accident Analysis and Prevention, Volume 29, we find that 65 mile per hour speed limit reduced the statewide fatality rate by 3.4% to 5.1% compared to those states that did not raise their speed limit. Now, while the federal government no longer has direct control over speed limits, the financial pressure that they impose on the states by threatening to withhold federal funding for highways acts as indirect control. And thus, many states, even Montana, who at one point had no speed limit on some of their interstates, had chosen to go back to imposing some type of speed limit. So, what would we do if there were no speed limits? Can we find a way to incorporate this type of plan and have it still be safe for America? Well, in Germany on the Autobahn and other countries that have unlimited speed, there are privileges like that come with responsibility. Some of the restrictions and consequences that would need to be put in place include driving only what you deem as a safe speed for the current conditions. And as Eisenhower was fond of the Autobahn, those restrictions include using proper etiquette. Merit-based usage could possibly be incorporated into a system that allowed unlimited speed. Things such as drivers that only are in good standing in the system, or those that have an easy pass device that can prove such standing within the system would be allowed access to it. Or perhaps down the road, only those using vehicles with green technology. Incorporating some of these safeguards may assist in not only making the interstate safer and more efficiently traveled, but the nation's roads as a whole, moving faster drivers away from the more dangerous roads. So not only would times needed to travel great distances across this country be reduced, but new business could also be realized. Progress does have a way of spawning new enterprise. Reduced ground travel times may relieve an already overburdened, fuel-intense, and cumbersome air travel industry. Slide. So the time has come to use the interstate highways to their fullest potential. Too much has been expended in the interstate highways history to only use it halfway. Write your congressman, encourage them to support legislation that will help lift the speed limits on the rural sections of the interstates. Thank you.